Math in 3 with Mrs. Z. This video is about solving two-step equations that have the distributive property in it. This is equations that have distributing in them. What operation is distributing? Distributing is multiplying. So we would multiply a number to everything in the parentheses. Why would we need to do this? Well, let's take a look at this example. You need to double a recipe for muffins. The original recipe calls for 1 egg and X amount of chocolate. What would double the recipe need? So we would need twice the amount of eggs, so we would need 2 eggs. And we'd also have to double the amount of chocolate. So instead of X, we would have 2X amount of chocolate. When we distribute, we need to make sure that we multiply to all the terms in the parenthesis. I also just want to remind you that when you have that invisible 1 in front of your X, to make it visible so we can see the math we're doing. So when we have parentheses and we're solving an equation, we want to first distribute. The second step would be to undo addition and subtraction. And then lastly, we would undo multiplication and division. These two steps are how you solve just a two-step equation. So we're taking something that doesn't look like a two-step and we're making it back into a two-step. Our first example is -3 times x plus 4 is equal to 18. I notice that there's no number in front of x, so I'm going to put my 1 there. I'm going to think about my plan. So I'm going to first distribute that -3 in. Then I'm going to have some subtraction. So I'm going to undo that subtraction. From there, I'm going to have to undo a little bit of multiplication. So let's take a look how to do this. I'm taking the -3 and I'm multiplying it to both numbers inside the parenthesis. -3 times 1 gives me -3x. -3 times 4 gives me -12. Once I get rid of the parentheses, it goes back to what a two-step equation looks like. So I have multiplication here and I have subtraction. We're going to start by inversing the subtraction. We're going to add 12. -12 plus 12 cancels out to 0. I also have to do it to the other side. The -3x comes down, and -18 plus 12 is -6. Now we have multiplication. We undo multiplication with division. So I'm going to divide both sides by -3, and our final answer is x is equal to 2. I could plug that back into the original problem and check it. One more example. I notice that there's no number in front of my parentheses, so I'm going to put my 1 there, my -1, and there's no number in front of my x, so I'm also going to make that number visible to myself. So we have -1 times 1x minus 4 is equal to 7. I'm going to get rid of these parentheses first, so I'm going to distribute or multiply to both terms inside, and we get -1x plus 4 is equal to 7. Now I have multiplication and addition. So we're undoing addition first to both sides of the equal sign. We get -1x is equal to 3. This is still multiplication, and the inverse of multiplication is division. So we divide both sides, and x is equal to -3. So that's how you solve equations that have the distributive property in them. This was Math in 3 with Mrs. Z. Please like and subscribe below. Thanks.